Hello everyone, Joe here. Haven't done an update for ages, so I am a little bit sorry about that. But oh my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about today. So, I'm going to skip the usual kind of bump and crap at the start. There's something we've got to talk about. So, I'm going to get straight into it. Okay, where have I been? Last update was end of November, and I basically said, not going to get on the trial, what happens next? And I said I'll be starting lenvatinib. I have started lenvatinib. Now that is a TKI, a tyrosine kinase inhibitor. It's a multi-channel one, so it isn't as targeted as some kinase inhibitors are. So it doesn't always, it's not totally targeted to the type of cancer that I have. So, as I've mentioned before, I've got anaplastic thyroid cancer. So the anaplastic stuff, nothing really seems to work on it. Like, it's bizarre. It has almost like no markers on it. It's like it just uses up space and takes up energy, and that's what it does. Just reproduce. Pushes your tissue out of the way, uses up resources that should be used for your healthy cells to reproduce. So, that's brilliant. But what the lenvatinib is meant to do is it essentially latches onto markers on the cells, on the cancer cells, stops them reproducing, stops them from vascularizing as well, so they essentially starve. So it tells them to stop reproducing and cuts off their energy supply. So all good, hopefully. Now I have most likely a mixture of non-radioactive responsive follicular thyroid cancer and anaplastic thyroid cancer. From what we can tell, and a lot of this is guesswork because medicine is not an exact science, but it's an evidence-based conclusion that you draw, and the important bit is the evidence stuff. So from looking at me in my particular case, we can see that I had follicular. It was responding to iodine. It stopped responding to radioactive iodine. Some other stuff grew, they took it out, they found it was anaplastic. So there's kind of, I've got cells that are, some are anaplastic, some are still follicular, that does respond, and I've got this stuff in the middle. So we're targeting the stuff in the middle really at the moment. Now the anaplastic thyroid cancer has shown in some studies, and I say small studies, like one from Japan with 5 people in, where everyone had a positive response to lenvatinib and anaplastic thyroid cancer. So I'm hoping that I get the same roll of the dice as they do, but it seems reasonably unlikely. But less cancer means more time is bought. So that's kind of what we're focusing on now. If it doesn't work, then I guess it's chemo. Again, which would be rubbish. It's only been 10 months since I finished chemo, which we still have weird side effects left over. Still get tinnitus. But anyway, moving on. So I started that at the very start of December, and then things went downhill pretty freaking fast. So what happened was I had a nosebleed on like the day after I started taking lenvatinib. Lenvatinib's big side effect is blood pressure, so it can really boost your blood pressure up, and obviously from that you find yourself at risk of stroke, blood clots in your lungs, loads of other stuff in there. Now lenvatinib and its side effects are huge. The list is like this big, it's daft. But moving on, I'm going to explain this cough as well. So I had a nosebleed on a Saturday, just pouring with blood, and I'm like, oh bloody hell, here we go, right, just sat there, eventually went. Sunday I have another one. Monday I have another one in the evening. Go to bed. Wake. Actually, around Monday I started to feel a little bit unwell. Slight touch of a cough kicking in. That kind of sore feeling you get, like your back when you start to feel unwell, like the flu. And I thought, oh well, it is listed as one of the symptoms of lenvatinib. So I'm like, oh no, I'm getting side effects. I wake up Tuesday morning, coughing. Dramatic, theatrical, and I keep coughing, and I cough, and I cough, and I start coughing up blood. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, my wife has left for work. In a panic, I call her, and I'm like, I'm coughing up blood. Like, I'm spitting out blood, and it's coming out. It's fresh blood, all mixed in with saliva, and I'm just coughing and I'm coughing and I'm coughing. I've hurt myself and I've pulled a muscle from coughing so much, and I cannot stop. Can't stop. Call an ambulance. Paramedics come out. They say, okay, right, did my vitals, checked blood pressure, pulse, they did my blood glucose as well, and everything seemed okay. No temperature either. And they're like, look, I kind of calmed things down a little bit by then, and I'd stopped coughing. Now in my head, I'm like, I'm hemorrhaging blood from inside my lungs, I'm going to die. Which is panic mode. I think most people would expect that kind of thing. Logic also clicks in, where I'm like, I had a nosebleed last night, and chances are I probably slept on my back, and I probably inhaled some of my own blood. Stupid. Oh god, the cat's having a shit. Classic is that. So, I call up the acute oncology line from the hospital I go to, Mount Vernon, and I ask them, I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? What's happening? They say, look, what medication are you on? Went round and round in circles. And they went, okay, well, if the paramedics think you're okay. They hang up. They call back 5 minutes later, and they say to me, yeah, you need to go to A&E. So I go to A&E and I spend 5 hours in accident emergency. And I have ECG, bloods done, chest x-ray, obviously do my blood pressure. I have to explain repeatedly what medication I'm on, and they're like, chemotherapy? No. Immunotherapy? No. Radiotherapy? No, it's none of these things. And I keep explaining what it is and telling them what it is, and very difficult to explain that it is just simply a targeted treatment. That's all it is, lenvatinib. So it goes on. Clive, come here. Cat. Nope, he's not having any of it. So it goes on, and anyway, chest x-ray's clear, bloods are fine. So they go, look, I think you're all right, you can go home. So I go home, and that evening I develop a fever, and my temperature goes up to 39.9, when it's almost 40.1 at one point. I take paracetamol, I do all those right things, sleep, plenty of fluids, but I can't sleep because every time I lie down, cough. So I end up going back to my GP on the Friday, so it's like between the Tuesday and the Friday. Full-blown chest infection, go on antibiotics, clears up pretty quick. One point I lose my voice, so that's why I couldn't record anything to talk about what's happened. And yeah, so that's where I've been, and that's what's been going on there. Now, I did go to the Ron Marsden. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I went to the Marsden. They had nothing to offer me. So that's why I ended up on the lenvatinib. So that's kind of where we are now with that. What I'll say is I have no side effects from lenvatinib whatsoever. My blood pressure's gone up a little bit, which is to be expected. But I mean, we're talking like my blood pressure before taking it was like 117/70. It's now as high as 132/80. So it's still within a decent range, a little bit higher than it could be, like pre-hypertension. But I'm not in trouble or anything like that. I don't want to have a stroke or a heart attack. So that's fine. Is it working? Don't know yet. Still too early to tell. I'll only be taking it for, where are we? 4 weeks? 3 and a bit weeks? And I've got an appointment on Monday where I'm going to go back and I'm going to see how I'm tolerating it. Like blood toxicity, urine, kidneys, liver, all that kind of stuff. They mainly measure its progress based on your thyroglobulin levels. Thyroglobulin levels, to see how much thyroid tissue you've got. They can kind of gauge it. Lower is better, typically. Only problem is that anaplastic thyroid cancer doesn't produce thyroglobulin, so or sometimes doesn't. It's a thing. So yeah, that's where that is. So that's all like the medical stuff pushed out the way. Next up, what we have is I am now an official patron of the British Thyroid Foundation, and that is through like my live streams that I've done. Overall, I have raised for them over £20,000. over the last 3 years, which is absolutely fantastic. Most recent one was over 9,000. Over 9,000! Which was great. So going forward, basically what it means is I'm to keep raising awareness of thyroid cancer, so keep doing these vlogs, talk about it on my live streams, as well as hopefully raise money for them when I can. I did say that my 24-hour stream would be my last one, my most recent one, and that might still be the case because I don't know what kind of condition I'll be like in eight months when I normally do them, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. But if I can do, I will do another one. Also something which is super exciting, and I'm so humbled. No, I'm genuinely humbled by it, which is to recognise the amount of money that I have raised and the support I've made for the charity. They are doing an additional research award, because normally they do one research award a year. They're doing an additional one, and they are doing something where they're giving away another £20,000 for research into thyroid cancer to help people like myself, and they are calling it the Joe Plater Research Award, which is utterly mental. Like, completely and utterly mental. So I'm like blown away by it. It's incredible. So that's cool. Hopefully, God, imagine that if a breakthrough comes through from it. It'd be mad, wouldn't it? But yeah, that's the kind of thing they'd hope for. So that's it, really. That's where that is. Christmas was nice. Despite me being ill, I had a really sore mouth. That's one of the side effects of lenvatinib as well. That's the only side effect I've had, really, is a sore mouth. Like, to the point where brushing my teeth was too spicy. Like, oh God, awful. So there was that. But got some Diflam, used that, helped. So right now, don't have a sore mouth, which is nice, so I can eat, drink normally. But yeah, it was at the point where things were just hurting to eat and drink, like almost everything. Everything was either too sharp or too spicy. Mashed potato, too sharp. That bad. That happened really quick, but I think that's possibly a combination of me using an inhaler as well with my cough, because that kind of helped. So I was given one of them by my GP, so giving that a go. But not using it now because the cough's kind of gone. It's just more of a little bit of a clearance cough, but I did some damage to my my throat in general from coughing so hard, and because my vocal cords only 50% work after my neck surgery, it got a little bit weak. So, but right, I'm going to round off the video there. It's a bit of, I guess, have I covered everything? Yeah, I think I've covered everything. So once again, I am sorry for leaving it so long between doing updates. Life, really. That being sick was awful, because I couldn't talk, I could barely talk. I had to whisper to my wife. Every time I tried to talk, I'd just start coughing. So that was all a little bit PTSD flashback to my surgery that I had, when it was the same thing. Like, oh, mental. But anyway, so if you want to subscribe, do. If you want to share the video, do as well. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm just going to continue kind of doing this type of thing where I'm literally just pouring my head out into a camera via my mouth. And that will do it, really. So thanks for sticking around, being patient, and everyone who was worried about me, thank you for the concern. But if I do die, or things do go really badly wrong, I will get someone to update it. Best thing for you to do is keep an eye on my community page on YouTube. That's where I'll sometimes bung up to update if I haven't done anything. If something's happened over the last couple of weeks or that type of thing, that's where it will go. So you don't have to panic too much. But yeah, the community tab. Chances are you've not even made it this far into the video. We're come up to 15 minutes in and I'm still talking like an idiot. So Happy New Year, I guess, is what I mainly wanted to say today. And I will keep you all updated once I know if this stuff is working. I'm going to be back in the gym, and I will try and do, because a few people did say they wanted to see what I was doing to try and keep fit, so I will try and record something. It's pretty awkward at the gym recording, just so you know, because you're one of those dickheads in the gym recording. But anyway, stopping talking, I will see you all soon. Once again, thank you for watching.